Bill?
You're all set.
Okay. This is Lou Federici. Matt Hoy is away this weekend, zooming in. So I'll be chairing the meeting, and we are here for the regularly scheduled February 17, 2026 meeting. First order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Andy?
Pledge allegiance
The
United States of America, and
to the
republic
republic for which it
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
liberty
and justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
Thanks, everybody. We also have our other select persons, Sue Renner and Jonathan Trotta, zooming in from various locations. Welcome, everyone.
Thank
Public
you.
forum. Anyone here to be heard on public forum? That's come on up. Name and address, you know the drill.
Deborah Demusis, 18 Sugarloaf Road. So I'm hoping this is at the right time for me to do this. If not, I'll do it at the end. Almost every Board of Selectmen meeting, we do have either people nominated or resigning from boards and commissions. And in dealing with that and finding, keeping track with the Excel sheet that we get every time there are changes, there are many errors that are on those sheets that go way back probably 3-4 years. I had gone through those at one time when I first got on boards and commissions, and I reviewed them with Tracy when she was here and asked for that to be kept updated. And I think there was a little bit lost in translation. So there still are some dates on that which date back to 2017 to people expiring. And what I would like to request, if it's okay, if maybe just like a small group of us, it could be a representative from each major party in town. I spoke with Sue. Sue said she would be willing to be a representative from the Board of Selectmen. Maybe we could meet with Brendan and just really go through that Excel sheet, update it, and make sure that the people that are on there are really on every board and commission. Just to keep that, then from then on, maybe we could, really follow through with it and be sure that it's completely updated. So that's just a request that I have. I don't know how that would work. So I'm just throwing that out there for that.
Great.
Okay.
Deb, I'll be happy. I'll be
Yeah, I was
happy
gonna say,
to
you can
meet.
take that up with Matt offline, and I'm sure.
Okay.
schedule something.
Okay, great.
To go. Thank you. Anyone else? Public forum?
Yes, can you, hello?
Yeah, somebody.
Yes, this is John Jagelski, 110 Round Hill Road.
Hey, John.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I just have two simple requests. Number one, is there a public forum that'll be scheduled for regarding the upcoming budget numbers for the next fiscal year?
There
Yes.
was, quick answer was, there was a presentation before the Board of Finance last week. So
the dates.
those numbers were, and Sandy's
Yeah.
breaking out the old school calendar, and it's going to give you those exact dates.
Okay.
Last week, we did the first step where Matt as first selectman and Paul Freeman as superintendent of schools made the presentation to the Board of Finance. And that's probably available on tape somewhere. But the public forums are always usually the first week in March. And I believe the Board of Finance runs them. And the first one is Tuesday, March 3rd. I believe it will be at 7:30, and I believe it will be at the community center, either in the big room or possibly the room upstairs with the Zoom. I'm not sure. And then on the 5th, in the same week of March, the first week on Thursday, the Board of Finance usually has what they call the first of their budget workshops. And I think, and Matt or Jonathan or Lou and Jonathan were both on the Board of Finance, and Matt was too, of course. I think the public has a chance to speak at that one as well. Is that, yeah,
You're
Matt's
correct.
shaking his head.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Yep, I believe so.
And then the Board of Finance reserves the following Monday as their second possible budget workshop if they need it. And then there's a town meeting to send the budget to referendum, and that's in April. And I believe that's it's called the annual budget town meeting, and that's on the 7th. And that's where the public votes to send the budget to referendum. And I think there's a chance to speak at that one too.
Good, thanks. That's more information than I had. My second request is that I noticed on today's agenda that you have a resolution to vote on a member of the extending a member on the Guilford Parks and Recreation Commission. I had submitted an application through the Republican Town Committee, which they had approved and forwarded to the Selectmen's office. And I saw that my name was not as a recommendation for an open slot that comes up on February 28th. Can you, that is my question, is to determine whether or not my application was approved, rejected, and if it's still viable.
John, your application has not been approved or rejected. I think everyone here understands the nature of some of these appointments when it comes to replacing members of one political party or another. I think you're referring to a seat that is currently held by a Democrat, and the Democrats have identified someone that they will probably be recommending as well. So that's the process that typically happens, John. I know you're familiar with this, having served on these boards over the years. So I will be making a recommendation, most likely for the next meeting, to fill that vacancy.
Okay, so my question, may I have a comment, or is that
No, no,
Okay, that's
this
fine.
is not public comment then.
That's fine. That's why I wanted to make sure that I did not violate any protocols here. Okay,
No, you
thank you
haven't.
for your help.
Thank you. Anything else, John, or anyone else online? Nope. Okay, so that brings us to appointment of minutes. There's a number of minutes we have here. Busy month. January 26, 2026 budget workshop. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. Someone online? Sue, thank you. Any discussion, comments, corrections? Anyone? Okay, hearing none. Move to approve the January 2026 budget workshops. Those online? Jonathan?
Aye.
Matt? Sue?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Those in the room? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, those pass or approved. January 28, 2026 budget workshop. Can I get a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments, corrections? Anyone online or in the room here? Fine by me. Okay. Hearing no questions or comments, can I get a vote? Those online? Selectwoman Renner? Yep. John? Yep.
Aye.
Matt? Yep. Okay.
Aye.
In the room? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And one more is we have February 12th, public hearing and special meeting. This was regarding the amendment to the town charter 18, article 2, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Those minutes, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
We get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments, corrections? Nope. Hearing none. Those online, in turn, John,
I'll abstain, Luke.
you abstain. You were not there. No problem. Matt,
Sorry, it's traveling.
Aye. Aye.
Sue, yeah, those in the room? Aye. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I will note that the February 2nd meeting minutes, our regularly scheduled meeting minutes were not yet prepared. We'll have those, so we're going to table that, and we'll just address those at our next meeting.
Motion to table.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Second.
Discussion on the motion to table? No, all in favor? We'll just go with it. Voice vote here. Aye. Everyone? Motion to table those. They're not before us.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, that's all in favor. Yeah, brings us to the presentation of Waste Reduction Milestone Award by Mark Dancy. Thank you. Mona? And we have someone else. Yes, thank you.
This is Corey McBrien.
You can come to the table.
Janice, do you want to have an opportunity to tee this up a little bit?
Sure.
Sorry, Dennis. Let you out of that.
No problem. This is our consultants, Waste Zero, who we worked with the co-pilot, co-collection pilot program, which also included food scraps collection at the transfer station under the grant, which we then transformed into full-time food scrap collection at the transfer station, and then ultimately turn that into the pay-as-you-throw program at the transfer station. So we kicked that off in November of 24. So as of November of 25, we had a year's worth of good data to show the effects of those changes at the transfer station. And we've showed a great reduction in municipal solid waste and a great increase in single stream recycling and food scrap recycling. And Zero wanted to recognize our efforts for that.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Janice.
Thank you, Janice. Yes, so we're pleased to recognize you today for the Waste Reduction Milestone Award, and specifically, the numbers are waste is down 41% in the first year. Recycling participation is up, and the food scrap collection from the pilot to year one of the unit or the pay-as-you-throw program has doubled. So really impressive results. All of those are represented here on this chart and graphs, which we'll give to you. And if you want to display this somewhere, but we really do appreciate the effort, and I think it's worth recognizing the effort of and leadership of the community and the participation of the residents for really making it happen on the ground. So thank you very much, and
Great.
pleased to give you the award.
Super, thanks. Just, it's a little bit at the back end. Could you just give us a little bit of a sense of the role of Waste Zero in this and our relationship with your organization and the town?
So we do several things, but we were the consultants for state for a while. We actually helped implement the program, and we now operate your bag distribution program for the transfer station.
Okay, fantastic. Any questions from anyone? Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you
Uh,
very much.
I guess I have a question for Janice. At one point, consternation's too strong a word, but there was I think some people were wishing the bags could be a little bit more available at more locations, but have things smoothed out with that?
Yeah, it was a bit of a growing pains kicking off the program. We did sell them at the very beginning at the transfer station for ease of kicking off the program, but our intentions were never to sell them long term at the transfer station, just because it turns into really having to handle stocking of the bags and the value of the bags being at the transfer station without really a place to do inventory control. While we got other retailers on board to sell the bags for us, and then we had some drop out, which was a little bit of a challenge. But right now, I think we're on steady state where everyone's learned where they're available. And a lot of our vendors are keeping their stocks up so that they're getting automatic deliveries and such, so that the bags are available when people need them when they go to the store.
Just say again where they are.
Sure. They're available in town at Walgreens, CVS, and Big Y. And then in Madison, they're also available at Stop and Shop.
And in case anybody's still, you go up to the customer service desk at Big Y.
Yep.
And then
Or the checkouts.
CVS is right at the checkout. There's a little
Yep.
kiosk next to the line where folks went. It's pretty straightforward and easy. I haven't been to Walgreens. Sorry, Walgreens.
Yeah.
But I'll get down there sometime too. So it is pretty available, pretty straightforward, pretty clear.
Mhm.
And it really does make you think about what you're putting in those bags.
Right.
So the system's great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Janice, I got a question too. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, John. Go ahead, John.
I was just curious, if we do reduce the food waste using the bags, does that save the transfer station money?
Yeah, ultimately, we haven't done a financial analysis as of yet, but we expect that the tipping fees for waste has gone down because we have less waste going out. And the cost of the tipping fee for food waste is really very low, so that should offset and save us some money. We haven't gotten to do a financial analysis yet, working with our finance department, but that's something we intend to do shortly.
Okay, yeah, I expect that the food waste is heavy too.
Yes, and that's the key to it. Food waste is heavy. It's very moisture dense,
Yep.
so it's our trash usually goes to an incinerator. So the reduction of the waste of food. I mean, the weight of food and the moisture content really is a good plus for the cost, reductions as well as the environmental impact of having to burn that waste.
All right, thank you.
All right, just a quick comment on that. The Waste Zero folks, thank you for the award and the recognition. I think the numbers are anywhere between 25 and 30% in terms of traditionally what food waste consists of in the waste stream. You guys can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I just want to also thank Waste Zero for being great partners. When we first started the trial, the pilot for co-collection with the two haulers. Unfortunately, that program did not turn into what we had hoped it to do. But the success at the waste transfer station with the food scrap diversion has just been phenomenal. And Jonathan, to your point, cost is only one of the considerations here. As a state, not unlike other states, we have a solid waste management problem. When the state closed the Mirror plant in Hartford, which was a big burn plant, it created an even greater burden on transporting our solid waste out of state. As you can imagine, the cost to do that extremely high when you have to ship it to Pennsylvania and Ohio and other places. So the cost component the cost thing is only one component. The availability of being able to dispose is going to continue to be more burdensome. And I think you're also going to hear in a minute on the next agenda item on what the next phase is for us as a town relative to addressing this challenge.
Thanks, Matt. Anybody any more questions, comments? Anyone? Online? All set? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your efforts and recognition. Thanks,
Janice, I think I'm going to give this to you.
Yep, thanks.
There we go.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Needed to put some things on the walls in the new space anyway, right, Chance?
I'll work it out with Matt if he wants it in his office.
No, there's too much in there now.
All right. So that brings us, thanks, folks. Bye now. As Matt pointed out, a related item, discuss and take possible action to accept a $297,700 Sustainable Materials Management Grant from DEEP to pursue a preferred hauler and UBP food scraps collection program. And Janice has moved to the table.
Yeah. So this is a resolution I believe you need to approve for us to accept the grant from Connecticut Deep. This is kind of following our pilot program that we talked about earlier for co-collection that we worked with Waste Zero on originally and received from the state. This is an effort to actually provide what we hope to be is a preferred hauler or some form of availability to our citizens, the opportunity to choose a hauler that will allow them to do food scrap separation and collection along with their trash and recycling for pickup. And we envision this to be more of a pay as we all pay for trash collection in town. It would continue to be a pay for service, but it's for those folks who can't take advantage of the opportunities for food scrap collection and pay-as-you-throw program at the transfer station to do it at home through a co-collection program. And we're hoping to also include in that co-collection program the potential of a pay-as-you-throw component to that, so that you buy the bags as part of your fee for the disposal, so that you are thinking, like you said, twice about what's going in the bag and making sure you're maximizing your potential for recycling.
Great. And this is a fair amount of money. I take it the grant is to help explore the program, design it. Is there an expectation there would be a little pilot program in there as well? Or is this just design and?
We already technically did the pilot program with our previous grant. And so this is really to formulate and really do a good bit of public outreach. A lot of the funding in the grant is towards public outreach to really inform the community members who are interested in this program about its availability and how to do it, and to kick it off, to kind of incentivize people to do it too. It's a
Right.
potential. So we do have, if you recall, a co-collection task force that this board had appointed members to. They have been meeting monthly. We've been on pause for a couple months waiting on the grant to come in to then formulate what they recommend to this board as to how to kick off that program with the grant.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Is there any questions, comments, those online?
Lou, let
Janice-
me make one.
Oh.
This program, I think, is an important step because as Janice said, this program would be available to those who currently use private haulers because they do not utilize the waste transfer station for dropping off their waste products as a recycling and food co-collection. However, the success of the food scrap collection program clearly indicates that there is an interest in this community in doing food waste diversion and making it even easier for some of those folks who have already made the choice to have a private hauler. And Janice, I think we typically use the number was 75% of residents between both communities, Guilford and Madison, use private haulers. So that's a large segment of the market that we are often not able to get to. So we're thrilled to be have been given this grant opportunity and look forward to seeing how this program shakes out. One of the challenges that we faced during the pilot was the business model was a little bit difficult for some of these haulers because they actually had to create an additional route to collect those materials as to collecting it with on their regular route, which means different equipment, different trucks, because you have to be able to store that somewhere. So this preferred hauler program is one that hopefully is going to tap into an emerging trend in the waste business, where co-collection of food waste scraps can be done with newer equipment.
And just to point out too, one of our challenges of our pilot program was sorting facilities. There was a lack of facilities that could actually sort the waste to then, send it to its respective locations, the food scraps to Quantum and trash to the incinerators. And New Haven has received a previous grant to build such a facility because they're looking to do a co-collection pay-as-you-throw program in their own city. And have a facility to do the separating, and they're likely going to need some other sources of materials to make that really a viable operation for them. And so we're hoping to, with the timing of that, kind of be able to offer a hauler a place to bring the materials where it can be separated.
Janice, would it be possible to use the grant to make our transfer station one of those facilities?
No, we don't really have the space to do that. And we don't actually even have any haulers who dump at our transfer station any longer. Our transfer station's more for individual household use. You need to have a tipping facility with the ability to either have automatic equipment or people who actually physically separate the food scrap bags from the trash bags. And we don't have that capability at our transfer station. We don't have the room.
Thought I would ask.
Yeah, no problem.
Anybody else? Sandy?
I'm good.
Thanks, Janice. So I gather we need to prove this. It's actually a resolution,
Solution.
which we don't have paper copy here today, Matt. So do we have to move that to approval and then we'll all sign it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Can
we
I-
have to authorize Matt to sign it as well.
We're authorizing Matt to sign it. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the resolution that's in our materials here regarding the presentation for the Sustainable Materials Management Grant?
I'll read the paragraph at the bottom.
Great.
I move that it be further resolved, the Board of Selectmen authorize the first selectman, Matthew T. Hoey III, to execute all necessary documents with regard to the grant award.
Great, thanks. There's the motion. Do I get a second? Online?
Second.
So, thank you, folks. Okay. Selectwoman Renner? Aye. Selectman Trotta? Aye. Matt?
Aye.
Aye. In the room? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Janice.
Yep.
Janice, we still have our HDC meeting scheduled for Thursday at 12:35.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think that's gonna, well,
I don't know. It's an interview with the people from the state, so I'm not sure how long it'll take.
sorry. It's gonna be your office, right? You know.
So the next item is discuss and take possible action to award the design for the Baldwin Pond discharge pipe replacement to BL companies for some of $26,250. I will point out that Mr. Gurnham's letter indicates that will be funded to a bond referendum fiscal year 2026 with an approximate balance of $100,000. I don't see Mr. Gurnham online, but I happen to have been zoomed into the standing building committee list. This is pretty straightforward. BL Companies is on our on-call contract. This is the necessary design portion of this. My sense is, well, take a motion. If anybody's got any concerns, we can wait until Cliff's available, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, second.
All right. Any discussion? Everybody's had a chance to read through the materials, what's going on up there?
I guess my only question would be, the pipe that failed, was there any warranty on that work? Or was it just so darn old that it was more than time to replace it?
I got that sense, but I cannot make a specific representation on that. I wish I could. You can still ask that, circle back to Cliff on that. I'm sure he's got the answer, but the fact is at this moment, as I recall from the meeting, it definitely needs to happen. There's a lot of wetlands around that school. This I remember again, sort of at the base of what they were calling the sledding hill. There's basically a creek over there. And so it needs doing, and we can move this forward. And if you can recall that question when we have Cliff next, that seems like an appropriate question.
Sure.
Okay. Any further question or comment? Okay, on those online, Selectman Trotta,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Matt,
Aye.
those in the room?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that one passes. Okay, and that brings us to John Terudis for an economic development report, but I don't see John online unless he's, there we go. Hi, John.
Hey, good morning.
How are
Good morning,
things
Nick.
going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, thank you.
Good, good. Just briefly working on the plans for the 250th celebration of our nation and doing some events here in town. A lot of energy behind this, a lot of people getting involved. It looks like there'll be a start of an opportunity on the Memorial Day parade ceremony on the green, which Matt, I'll talk to you offline as to that. That's fairly new. And talking with Larry Santa Maria, it looks like if you're in town, certainly we want the selectmen to attend on July 5th. We're going to be holding a concert on the green, and before the concert at around 5:30, do a ceremony on the green on stage with reading of the proclamation and inviting our founding families from town to send a representative for recognition there at that event. And then we kick off the summer concert series with the concert right after that ceremony. Looks like we'll be able to have a gun salute at that July 5th event. And I have submitted for a flyover from National Guard, waiting on that response. There'll be an exhibit running at the Griswold House beginning in May, commemorating the Revolutionary period and our participation in those events in that era. Also going out to September, there's a group working on a ceremony recognizing the anniversary of 9/11 to be held on 9/12, and also wrapping in the 250th recognition as well. So that's it on that so far. More to come.
John, John, just one quick point. The other opportunity I think that we talked about was the Guilford Fair Day Parade.
Yep.
Traditionally, there is a theme every year for the parade. I could think of nothing better than to get the 4 elementary school kids and floats to focus on the 250th anniversary of the country's birth. I think it would make a great opportunity for us.
Good point. Thanks, Matt. I forgot that. I forgot to mention that. All good. Any other questions on the 250th?
No, thanks.
One question, John, I wanted to ask. Is the fireworks show going to be bigger?
Fireworks is 9/11. Yeah. Those arrangements had to be solidified some time ago, as those providers, those vendors are booked out for a number of years. So I think that date was set probably sometime last year. So fireworks on the fairground on 9/11. Yeah.
Don't we have fireworks in the fairground the weekend after the July 4th weekend?
Correct. That's I'm sorry.
Right.
July
You mean
11th.
7/11?
Not 9/11. 7/11, not 9/11.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, confused that.
That's all right.
No problem. The only other mention is I've been working on doing something on the sustainability front, and I've arranged with Village Green for a discount for pollinator plants. This discount will be available to local businesses in town as they replant and do planters or do landscaping in the spring. They can get pollinator plants as a discount, and this is in conjunction with to help support our sustainability efforts in our sustainability committee as well. That's it for me.
Hey, John, while it's
Yes, sir.
top of mind, if you'd reach out to Terry Kane and just engage her and the sustainable folks, if you haven't already, on that project, particularly as they are moving towards recertification for our sustainable level, that could be helpful.
Excellent. I'm sure we'll get some points on that. And as I think of it, I should talk to Park and Rec, Public Works, any of our other departments that may be doing some planting, around their respective areas, to tap into this as well.
Yeah, John, that's a good point. Public Works has been actively engaged with pollinator plantings on Whitfield Street, where that crosswalk with the median is, down closer to the marina. That grassy area, that little island to the left, you'll see a plaque there. When they cleaned that out completely, they replaced everything with pollinator pathway plants. They also did something similar down at the marina. The two parking the islands behind the breakfront.
Good. Thanks, Matt. I'll reach out to the other departments and just make mention of that.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
You're
Anything
welcome.
else, John? Anyone? All set? All right. I think that brings us to our financials. Hello, MJ.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So I'm reporting through January 31st, which is about 58% through the year. Our revenues are at 91%, doing very well in tax collection, as typical for Guilford. A couple of things that are a little low, I'd just like to note, the building department is a little bit lower at the moment. They have a very large project pending, which should help us bring that percentage up to where everyone else is. And just to remind you that Park and Rec, timing issue, a lot of their revenue comes in the spring before the summertime. Otherwise, all of our departments are right on track.
Fantastic.
Any questions?
Questions from anyone on revenues?
No.
Nope. Hearing none. Thank you.
On the expenditure side, we are 60% expended through the end of January. A couple things to note. Fire department, one of their biggest issues in their budget is their building maintenance. We had emergency repairs for their sprinkler system and HVAC heating systems. We had a total failure at one of our stations, and significant work on an aging system at headquarters, which is causing building maintenance to run out of money this time in the year. Public Works, I just wanted to note we're, right on track where we should be right now, but I just wanted to remind you that we've had some significant expenses in February, so the numbers might look a little bit different this time next month. And rec.
And that's just so that everybody, not that anybody has missed it, but our weather events have been all on the weekends. And
Weekends, holidays, Sundays, double time,
they've
yes.
gotten out and done a great job, but that puts our employees on the roads behind those trucks and
Right.
working
Right.
overtime.
Significant amount of overtime over there, specifically during that first very large storm. So the only other item I was going to note was Park and Rec. Their building maintenance and ground maintenance are overdrawn, but we have purchase orders there. And what happens is we open up purchase orders for a variety of vendors to give them the flexibility to use for whatever might come up. But as we go through the end of the year, those start to fall off. So at this point, there's no true concern there other than that. So that's all I had to report, unless there are any questions.
Sorry. No, nobody, any of our selectmen on the Zoom, everybody's good?
No, we're good. All good.
Okay, in the room? No, good, thank you.
We do medical.
Yes, medical.
So I will report and want to thank everybody for who attended the Board of Finance meeting last week. We did have a full presentation from our consultant, Joe Spurgeon, regarding the state of our medical and to explain why our expenses are going up again next year. That being said, in the month of January, we had what would appear to be a very typical month. Our average is 1.24 and we were at 1.27. So January was a little bit lower than where we've been so far this year, which is an anomaly because normally we start to get higher at this point. Other than that, catastrophic claims on the members that have hit half of our ISL at 87.5. We've gone from 18 to 23 covered members, a big jump in January. And those members fully covered at the 175,000 level jumped from 6 to 8. We are at 37% there.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that with the way that stop loss works is we continue to incur the expense, but then we get reimbursed by the stop loss carrier?
Correct. So
those numbers will go up, but it will offset by the payment from the insurance company.
Right. So this is the total amount. So that's when you see the $615,000, that's the amount that we would expect to be reimbursed over time from the stop loss. The claims come through on the claims line over in the far left-hand side. Yeah. So interspersed there under the claims are all of our ISL catastrophic claims. You'll see at the very bottom of that first column, stop loss claim reimbursements of 938,000. So that's carrying over anything from last year, anything we received so far this year. So that is, the claims are offset by what we get back from the company, but there's always a lag time. You'll see at the very bottom of my spreadsheet, I do show a receivable of $313,000 still to come in because the claims come in 1 month. We make a request to the stop loss company for reimbursement, and then the money comes back to us.
Great, fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
I am Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to comment, the purpose of that ISL cost benefit section is just really to show if we guessed right with, with the
Yeah.
ISL, and just to, you know, satisfy ourselves that it paid for itself, really. That's what that shows.
Correct.
And it's hard to
Correct.
tell, really hard to tell at this time of year.
Right. And I use that to know how much we're supposed to be getting back, you know, each month.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, Jane, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
I'm
course.
really sorry I missed the Joe Spurgeon meeting at the bigger meeting. I was traveling. I'm just curious though, has Joe Spurgeon ever sort of looked at the possibility of the town not being self-insured and to actually buy policies from one of the big providers? Have they ever done any kind of analysis like that over the years?
Yes, we haven't done an in-depth analysis, although we are going to be looking at the state partnership plan. But it's something we discuss all the time in general. It just hasn't seemed to be the right move for us, but definitely everything is on the table.
Okay, I'm sure you can see big increases if you go that route as well. So I just was curious though if it's been looked at.
Can
Right,
I add
and-
to that? Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jonathan, when the town moved years ago from being fully insured to self-insured, there was significant savings in doing so. The problem with going back is that that savings kind of gets reversed. And yes, it's a gamble in either direction, but we would have to pay the runouts that we already have. We would have to continue to pay off any expenses we have, and then tack on a policy that would probably not be much different than what we're paying now, because everything we get quoted is based on our claims. And so that whoever we get a policy with is going to look at the claims, make our quotation to the town based on that. It's something we could look at, but I think Joe would have a better explanation than I do. But that's kind of the reason why once you move to self-insured, it's really a one-time decision. It's very, very difficult and expensive, I think, to move back.
Yeah, I think they could raise premium prices just as easily as claims go up. So,
yep,
6 one way, half dozen the other.
John, there was at least one page in Joe Spurgeon's presentation that showed our true cost of providing healthcare coverage to our employees over the past 10 years. And I think there were, the average is significantly lower than you would think, because for a number of years, a couple of years, we actually had a reduction in our medical costs. So we're not significantly higher in terms of our overall spend than we were 8 to 10 years ago. So I'm assuming that the presentation that Joe made is available to all of us, MJ.
It was on board. So, yeah.
I'm going to try and catch up with that. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of travel.
If you go back, if you go back to the Board of Finance meeting from last week in your onboard, you will see that presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Right, and as to Mitch's point and MJ's point, we are going to take a look, do a more in-depth look at the partnership plan offered through the state of Connecticut. But it's my understanding that their increases are between 12 and 15% this year on their premium costs to their members. And a couple of years ago, they were able to attract folks in because they had some good numbers. And the folks who went to the partnership program were the ones that were facing higher costs in their own self-insured plans and some of the private insurers. So that risk all moved to the partnership plan.
Let me just add to what Matt just said. Matt, you're absolutely correct. And the slide that Joe had, and Jonathan, I hope you find it, shows that from 2016 through 2026, so you're looking at a 10-year period, our average increase is 1.53% per year. We've had 2 anomaly years of double digits, this being one of them. We've had many years of very low increases. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3 years of decreases, which we would not have been able to take advantage of if we were fully insured. So it's kind of one of those things that kind of works both ways. I think overall it has worked in our favor, for the last 10 years or longer. Unfortunately, we've hit quite a blip in the last year or two that's been causing this, and we're trying to muscle through it. And as Matt said, we're going to look at other alternatives as well. So we're not turning a blind eye to this, but as for right now, I think we're in the situation that we're in, and we're going to do our best to do what we can and look for alternatives that we can.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Mr. I gotta catch up with that. Yeah.
Hey, any other questions from our board members online? No, Sandy?
No.
That's something?
I think that was
Okay.
Susan saying no.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Okay. Just so we covered it, there was warrants. I skipped over warrants. Did anybody have any questions on the warrants? Don't think so.
No, this is when Matt says no, we'll be going over that tonight
No.
at the board. Yes.
Okay,
Already done that.
That's right, you did it.
thank you.
That's right.
Medical, so the next item is a discuss and take action to proclaim March as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Matt, can you give us a little sort of background to what brings this to the fore?
Yeah, there were a couple of organizations that focus on the gambling problem here in the state of Connecticut, and they asked that we, like many other municipalities, try to bring awareness to the challenges and problems with gambling statewide. Even though the state runs a lottery system, it's an interesting dichotomy. But nonetheless, with the casinos in town and also the prevalence of online betting, this problem continues to grow. So many of the healthcare professionals, as well as some of the social service agencies, have pulled together this emphasis here in Connecticut. And this is just a proclamation, but I also find it that March being the Problem Gambling Awareness Month, there's probably more pools for the NCAA basketball tournament than you would believe. So, but I don't think I think it helps just to add our name to those communities who are concerned about the prevalence of gambling in our society, and more importantly, the impact it has on individuals and families.
Yeah, I mean, and you made reference to the online. I mean, all sports media is sponsored by
Yep.
gambling companies. Everybody's got something on their phones. It is easy to get drawn in, and so some awareness is really helpful. Appreciate you bringing that to the fore. And as you say, a lot of organizations working, including the healthcare providers. So,
right,
all good. Do we need a motion to advance that?
Yes, you would.
Okay, can I get a motion then to, I'll read this, to declare that we, the Board of Selectmen of the town of Guilford, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 as Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Guilford, and encourage all citizens to support the National Council on Problem Gambling in their efforts to mitigate gambling-related harm nationwide. Can I get that motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion on the proclamation? Anyone online? Nope. Okay, therefore, all in favor, I'll take online, Selectman Trotta,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
you in the room? Aye. All right, we'll sign this, we'll leave it with Brendan, thank you. Everybody could pop in, that'd be great. We also, next item 11, schedule a special town meeting regarding leases. Let me read these. This is a special town meeting to approve the non-exclusive leasing of town-owned property located at 55 Park Street to Guilford Land Conservation Trust, Inc. and Guilford Interfaith Ministries, Inc., DBA, Interfaith Volunteers. It's basically space at Lathrop House, yes? So
Yes.
that they can
Correct.
function in a more traditional office setting. I have that
Absolutely.
right?
Well, let me just give you a little bit of background.
Please.
We these two great partners of the town were facing some challenges relative to space. I think you recall I had individual conversations with all the Board of Selectmen members back in the fall relative to creating this opportunity for them to take some currently unused space in the Lathrop House. We decided to move forward, and Pete can talk to this a little bit, with formalizing that relationship to protect ourselves in many areas. Not that we expect any challenges with those organizations, but so I had Pete put together some leases. There's a nominal fee that they're going to pay. I think it's a $50 a month fee to cover electricity, heating, etc. The anticipated usage in that building is going to be nominal. If the Guilford Land Trust meets once a month, that's probably the extent of what they do. The Guilford Interfaith Volunteers, that's going to be the diaper dispensary, a program that was created by the grandparents of a young child who passed away about a year and a half ago. And it's sort of on a model of what they do over at Satcham's Hollow in terms of dispensing much needed medical equipment. Pete subsequently determined that we needed to move that to a town meeting because even a lease falls under the category of disposal or dispensation or use of town property. I think had we not moved forward with a formal lease, which talks about insurance requirements and hold harmless and that kind of stuff, I think we probably could have just let them utilize the facility. But because we're actually entering into a lease, we need to run that by a hearing, a public hearing. Pete, what am I missing?
No, that's a good explanation. There's a lot of process around leasing town-owned property. So the Board of Selectmen has the power to do that, but subject to the general statutes and the charter. The statutes require a public hearing before the Board of Selectmen with very specific notices, 2 newspaper notices, plus a posting of the intention to lease on the property. And then the charter, and by the way, the statute also requires an 8-24 referral to Planning and Zoning Commission. And then our charter requires town meeting approval for any disposition of real estate, and that would include a lease. So that's why, it looks like quite a bit of process, but the end result would be a lease. I included the word non-exclusive in there because that property is, as you folks already know, is used for town offices. And so whatever space is remaining that could be used by the Land Conservation Trust or interfaith ministries will be a subject of agreement between the town and those entities.
Is this an open-ended lease or is it going to be reviewed every year or?
Yeah, well, I'll let Matt address. I'll take my marching orders from you folks, but I think what we've drafted up as is a 4-year lease, terminable by either party on a 3 months notice.
Okay.
Okay, any questions from the board members online?
So my only concern would be, does anybody have the opportunity to lease or?
No, that's a decision made by this board.
So you mean, John, if another group came forward and needed space, would they have the same opportunity?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would consider them if there was additional space. And the essence here, John, is we don't want to be in the real estate business. These are 2 nonprofits that this community relies heavily on. We partner with the Guilford Land Conservation Trust and purchases of property, open space property all over town. And Guilford Interfaith Volunteers are folks that we support through Meals on Wheels, Charlie's Closet. There's a variety of things. So there's a very small universe of folks that at least I and the other members of the Board of Selectmen were interested in talking to on this kind of arrangement.
In effect, the Guilford Interfaith Volunteers with Charlie's Closet and the other services they offer, like friend visiting, Meals on Wheels. They are in effect already using some town land behind the Sachem Hollow over
Town.
55 community. So
Not to mention they run Meals on Wheels out of the
yeah,
community center.
yeah.
Community center.
So technically, yeah, okay. Any further follow-up on that question? Oh, good. Anyone else? Sandy, your thoughts?
I'm good.
I think it's good. All right, I am going to, just again, read resolution resolved to approve the non-exclusive leasing of town-owned property located at 55 Park Street to Guilford Land Conservation Trust and Guilford Interfaith Ministries, DBA Guilford Interfaith Volunteers, and we're gonna have 2 public hearings according to the process Pete laid out. Can I get a motion to approve that, the holding of the public hearing on March 16th, 2026?
And
So-
linking a special town meeting with it.
Oh, yes, and linking, and there's also a special town meeting to approve this, as Pete says, disposition of the land via the lease.
I think we have March 17th, I think is the date.
Okay,
It'll be,
well, this says,
it's March 16th is the date of that Board of Selectmen meeting.
It's at our Board of Selectmen meeting. Further down, it says the 17th, which is today.
Yeah.
So it has to be posted in various places.
Pete, Brendan, you guys on the same page?
Well, I'm just
I'm-
looking at I kind of deferred the selection of the date. So it does say March 17th on the agenda, so I was just following that.
Oh,
Oh, I
no.
updated the agenda after that. It's March 16th is the correct date.
Okay, very good.
And
Thank
the
you.
actual
that.
paper resolution we have says the 16th for
Yeah.
the hearing.
my
Okay.
agenda says
Yeah,
March
all
16th.
all you're doing today is scheduling those things.
Correct.
Very good.
All right, thanks for that clarification, everybody. All right, so we have a motion to schedule those hearings?
So moved.
Second.
Any, there's a second. Selectman Trotta,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Pat,
Aye.
and in the room, aye. Thank you, everybody. We'll sign this and we're authorizing Matt to get the ball rolling in terms of the notices and such. Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Don't go away, Pete. The next item's related.
I think 12 we have to do.
Well,
Is related. Yep.
12 is right. Consider and take possible action to refer the proposed Guilford Land Conservation Trust and interface, you mentioned this, Pete, to the Planning and Zoning Commission per Connecticut General Statute, Section 824. Can you just give us a 2-second blurb on what that is, Pete?
824 is with respect to municipal improvements, and there's a lot of types of transactions that do have to go to planning and zoning for comment if they choose to comment, and one of them is a legislative body cannot sell or lease any municipally owned property without referring it over to Planning and Zoning Commission for a report. And then they have 35 days within which to issue a report. And if they don't, then it's presumed approved by them. So anytime you see real estate on the agenda, whether we're distributing or selling or leasing or taking in or accepting some interest in real estate, you're likely to see a request by my office or by the Selectmen's office for a referral to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay. Can I get a motion to make that referral?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thanks. Any further discussion on that process? Okay. Selectman Trotta,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Pat,
Aye.
and in the room, aye. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Pete, again.
You're welcome.
Brings us to appointments and resignations. Discuss and take possible action to reappoint Bradley Cronstadt to the Park and Rec Commission with a term to expire 2/28/2030. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second?
Yep.
Discussion or comment? Okay, hearing none. Everybody good? Can, Selectman Trotter,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Thank you. In the room?
Aye.
Aye. That advances, discuss and take possible action to appoint Maxwell. Oh boy, DiCataldo as an alternate to the Affordable Housing Commission to fill a vacancy with a term to expire 10/31/2028. And there's supporting material attached. Can I get a motion on that one?
I'll make the
So
motion.
moved. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sue's
Sue,
got
go
the
ahead.
motion. A second.
I'll second. Yeah.
Okay, questions or comments?
I will comment that I hope everyone has a chance to read Maxwell's cover letter, which I thought was great, made a lot of interesting points. And he also spoke about getting younger people involved in town government, which I thought was really interesting. So I appreciated his comments.
Fantastic.
Ditto.
Thank you, Sue. Any other thoughts, questions or comments there? No, online, everybody's good. Selectman Trotter,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
and in the room? Aye. Okay.
Lou,
We're just-
I've got another applicant for planning and zoning, and it kind of email came in on Friday, so it didn't make the agenda. So I
Okay.
wanted a motion to discuss and take possible action to appoint Carlisle Chacon to the Planning and Zoning Commission as an alternate, with a term to expire on February 28th, 2030. Speaking of
Oh.
younger people
Yeah,
involved in town government.
haven't seen, I've met Mr. Chacon. Haven't seen any materials for this purpose. Do we have a second?
Well, don't we have to add it to the
Add
agenda
it to the
first?
agenda first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do anything till we
Mhm.
have a
I
motion.
think it was a motion to add to the agenda.
I thought he was
Yes.
motioning to.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
you
I
just,
should
that was just a
rephrase.
motion to add it to the agenda?
That's what I
Yeah,
understood.
motion to add to the agenda to discuss, take possible action to appoint Carlisle Chacon to the Planning and Zoning Commission as an alternate, with a term to expire February 28th, 2030.
I'm sorry, I hate to interject here. This is a special meeting of the Board of Selectmen, as I understand it. Is that right?
No,
No.
today, this is
No.
a regular standing meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
It was just pushed over a day because of the holiday.
Mhm.
Right.
It was actually scheduled for this date.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, right, yes, right.
It
But
was.
somebody was paying attention
Okay, very good.
to the calendar. Okay, so we have a motion to add this application to the agenda. Do we have a second? Let's get
Yes.
that far.
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor of adding the request to take under consideration Mr. Chacon's application to planning and zoning?
Aye.
Select,
This
Aye.
is just,
you have,
we're just voting to add it to the agenda.
Matt, did you have a
Right.
comment?
No, I was just saying that. Aye.
Okay, so to add to the agenda, Selectman Trotter,
Aye.
Selectman Renner,
Aye.
Matt?
Aye.
Aye, in the room, aye, to add to the agenda. Okay, now, what do we do with it here? I haven't seen any of the materials. It would be helpful to have done that. I'm not quite sure. It's
We
on the
did.
agenda.
Yeah, we had his application. We did receive that.
It was Friday.
It
Did
came,
it come?
I think it came by email to individual board members, which I don't think is really the preferred way of doing this, but I do think we received that.
Okay, and is there presently an opening as an alternate?
There
What's
is.
this? Okay,
There is an opening in, as we are sensitive to political considerations on their role. This is formerly a Republican seat, I believe. Brendan, can you confirm?
Pulling up the sheet now. I believe there's an opening as of the end of the month. And it'll be, I think it was presuming that an alternate was elevated, there was going to be an alternate seat available at the end of the month, and
Right.
it would be depending on who was elevated, what party
So
that
has
seat
the-
And we
was.
have,
Has
so
the
is that
elevation taken place yet?
Yeah, is the seat even open?
Has the existing alternate been elevated yet, Brendan?
No,
yes.
Okay, to
Yes,
answer.
Matt says yes, Brendan says
Did,
no.
didn't Brendan, didn't Larry Rizzolo get moved up to the full-time from an alternate seat?
yes, and then there's going to be Philip Johnson's seat is going to be ending, so someone else will need to be elevated to fill that seat, and that's the
Right.
alternate vacancy that we're talking about now.
Okay, so
So
it
that
has
has not
not yet
happened yet.
happened.
Then I would
Okay.
be inclined not to vote on Mr. Chicone. Am I saying that right?
Chacon.
Chacon, sorry.
Chacon.
I realize the next month is, the next meeting is March 2nd, and the opening becomes available February 28th, but we're putting him into a seat that hasn't yet been technically vacated. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the assumption was that Kay Linsky would probably move into that slot because Philip Johnson, I think, is a Democrat, and Kay
I just think
looks
we
like
should
Democrat alternate in line.
I personally think we should not vote on it today. I think it will happen, but I think we're jumping ahead. But I wouldn't want any party to do this. It's no prejudice against this. It's just, seems like, why are we putting somebody into a seat that we haven't figured out what that person's gonna do yet, right?
That makes sense. If there's not an actual opening, then no, we
Right.
shouldn't do it.
Right.
Maybe we should table it till Kay is officially fills in for Philip. I think
If
I
Kay
think
if Kay is
what's
yeah,
going to happen, right?
yes, if Kay is the eventual nominee, we've not yet received the recommendation from the Democratic Town Committee on filling that seat. So, and I know traditionally we move people up from alternates, et cetera, but I think we're tabling this without any prejudice. It carried 5-0 vote to put his consider him on the agenda today. So I think we're tabling this without prejudice.
Okay.
So I'll take that as a motion to table, Matt.
Certainly.
And we have a second to table it, okay? Any further discussion on the motion to table Mr. Chacon's application as an alternate to the planning and zoning? Anyone online? No? Okay. Motion to table, Selectman Trotta.
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner.
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
in the room? Aye. Okay, so that passes, that's tabled. We'll see that next month. Thank you, everybody. And that brings us to request for use of town property. First is discuss and take action to approve a request by Alex Inc. to place a sign on the green May 4th to May 17th, when the snow finally will be gone.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I got a second? Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion, comments? Okay, Selectman Trotta.
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner.
Aye.
Matt.
Aye.
In the room? Aye. Next item 14.2, discuss and take possible action to approve a request by Guilford Public Schools to use the green for GS graduation on June 12th, 2026. One of the great days in town every year. Can I get a motion?
I'll make
So-
that motion.
All right, Matt, second it.
Second, okay. A discussion, comment? Oh, Selectman
Uh,
Trotta. Oh, Matt, sorry.
Yeah, that is you're right, Lou. It's one of the great days of the year. I've had the distinct honor to bring the graduates in. I usually march up front with the principal of the high school and the superintendent of schools. It's just a great day. And this year it happens to fall on my birthday. What a great birthday!
Hey.
Hey,
Fantastic.
And it's
I was curious.
and
did
it's
they
a
have
big
rain
number.
date, too?
Great.
Okay. Anybody else wax nostalgic about the graduation date? Selectman Trotta in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Selectwoman Renner.
Aye.
Aye. Matt.
Aye.
Aye. And in the room. Aye. All right. Thanks. Okay. brings us to committee reports, and I happen to have something, if anybody else doesn't. Nope. I was lucky enough to meet with the Shumpushaw committee, who are moving forward with enthusiasm. Great group. The points that I mentioned that I would pass on is that their fundraising is underway. They're in the proverbial silent phase. The idea is to have some momentum before a public fundraising stage hits. It is important, as they had mentioned at a previous meeting, for us to make a decision on a location in order to literally pick a sculpture candidate and to make sure that fundraising continues to advance. That location is very important. Those are decisions that are dependent on that. I mean, I guess the sculptors, as you can imagine, need to have context within which what they're doing will be done. To quickly summarize, and I will let them speak for themselves, but I did say they remain committed, and persuasively so, in my opinion, based on what I've heard previously in this meeting that I had, that the green or green adjacent, as they are putting it, remain their priority. I'll just pick a couple examples. They had really strong opinions about why the Whitfield State Park would not be a good choice. The triangular space outside where the covenant granite stone is, it really is not adequate size-wise. And we did discuss down by, assuming that this continues to move forward in a constructive way, like the mooring property and whether that becomes a park at some point, why there's various reasons. And I can fill everybody in on these, and they can just as well. But persuasively explain why that would not necessarily work. There are a number of locations around the green that can work, and their preference, just to put it plainly, I'll say, is their preference would be on the green, and there may be some interest in that. But far from having a decision, it's our call at some point. But that's the ball has turned another couple revolutions and is moving forward. And we should probably think about advancing that. A public forum might be helpful, and Matt, that would be something I would leave to you to coordinate. I think it makes sense. So there it is. Anybody questions that I could maybe try and respond? Nope. Good. Any other committee reports?
Following up on discussions that we've had at other meetings, I have put together at Matt's direction an ad hoc committee to develop some guidelines and recommendations to bring before the Board of Selectmen regarding permission for alcohol use on the town property, either outside or inside buildings and or the green or potentially other locations. So our first meeting will be the last week of February, and I don't know how many meetings we'll need. I hope to not have it drag on forever, but it's a nice combination of people. After I'll be able to report on the first meeting at the next Board of Selectmen meeting.
Good. Great, thank you.
I shouldn't say a nice combination. It's a professional combination of people. They happen to be nice as well.
Okay. Any other committee reports? No. Correspondence? Anyone?
Just another correspondence from Mr. Holman. He's concerned about the anti-ice protest from the high school and is recommending people look at some people who are behind that and financing it and encouraging it. And it referenced an article.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Saw that. Anybody else want to bring anything to the attention of the group in correspondence? Nope. Any old business? I think we're good. New business? We have Christie, you want to be heard on public forum? You're muted. Sorry. The famous phrase. you're muted, Christy.
Oh,
you.
sorry. I should have probably waited for the public forum.
We're
So,
1 second away.
okay, I'll wait.
Okay. All right. No old business, no new business. Christy, you're on. See that?
Thank you. I just wanted
Right, no, Lou,
Oh.
excuse me, Lou,
Oh,
new business, excuse me. Lou,
Sorry.
Christie is not a sitting member. Under new business, that would be something brought up by the board. I think you just
Yeah.
said she should talk under public forum.
I think that's right. I thought
You just said new business.
did I said the wrong thing? Okay.
No, you said both, but then maybe he didn't hear it.
All right. I think I was wrapping up old business and new business and hearing nothing. So
Got it.
point taken, Matt. Thanks for that assist there. So we are at public forum. Anyone in the public would like to be heard? Christy, you want to just introduce yourself?
I will, thank you. Christy Rubendunst, 221 Fitchhill Road, Guilford, Connecticut, and I'm here to invite you as a member of the Commission for Affordable Housing and the chair of the Community Conversations committee on that commission to come on Wednesday, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. at the Selectmen's Conference Room. We're having the next speaker in our conversations with developers session, and it will be Aaron Hoffman, who is with NeighborWorks New Horizon, and we've invited him to come and speak not as the developer of the Woodruff property, but as someone who has been involved with developing affordable housing across southern Connecticut, and his experience, in that realm, how as a developer which is also an owner of the property, and how they manage those types of properties. So it'll be a slightly different take than what we normally talk about with Aaron and NeighborWorks, but a broader brushstroke. So I think it'll be very interesting. And if I invite you all to come and to bring a friend, it's not a big room, but I would like there to be, people coming at that odd hour. We did have trouble getting a room at the community center or the library, because of the scheduling this time of year. So please do, if you can, come with a friend. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else want to be heard in public forum? We have one in the room, Deb.
I do have a question about that. Is it going to be?
Even though you were here earlier, could you just give?
No, because what I needed to speak wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I wondered, is that going to be on Zoom tomorrow night?
I don't know.
No, but we can record it.
Recorded.
Okay, thank you. So, again, I don't know if this is, I'm sorry, Debbie Demusis, 18 Sugarloaf Road. So, no, I understand completely. So I don't know, again, if this is the right place to bring this. So Carlisle Chacon was added to the agenda and discussed. And it was said that it would be hard to move him until someone else has been moved. So I just wanted to mention that Larry Rizzola was moved before the other term was up. And he was an alternate. So that's already been done. I do understand that there are 3 alternates on that position. Philip Johnson, his term is expiring 2/28. And as I said, the Larry Rizzola took a spot that was also expiring 2/28. So that was filled before the position. There are 3 alternates. So it's Kai Linsky, Donald Pritchard, and Jeffrey Beckman. So I guess being in my position, my first question would be, out of the 3 alternates, I understand that you would discuss and choose who you felt was the best person to move up. Matt mentioned that the Democratic Party has maybe not put forward Kai's name. So my question is that how this function works? Because I did look up in the charter to see how people move from alternate to permanent, and there was nothing. So it's hard being a person who's on boards and commissions not knowing the right procedure. And I would like to know the right procedure. In other words, one is a Democrat alternate, one is a Republican alternate, one is an independent alternate. So Don Pritchard, I believe, does have the most experience. Not that that matters, but he has been on there the longest out of the three alternates. Is it my responsibility to say, can he be a candidate? Could he be nominated to go as a permanent one to replace Philip Johnson? Okay, that's one question. The other question is, once that position is filled, because I'm sure that Philip Johnson will be filled by one of these two, three, then my next question is, why couldn't Carlisle's application be considered as an alternate? Because someone will be moving off, even though it's 228, because Larry Rizzolo's was filled before 228. So those are just all my questions. I know it was without prejudice, but I would like to know, because I keep feeling like I'm trying very hard to get appropriate people. He's a young candidate. I think he would be very good. He would like to get involved in community service. We did talk to him about other committees. He couldn't do other committees because of his business and because he waits with his children. I had originally talked to him about the Economic Commission. He couldn't do it because his children get on the bus at 8:30 and that starts at 8 o'clock on Zoom. So, and he would like to be part of our community. So those are questions that I have. I think that it would really help maybe. I know there's always variables. I would just like to know the appropriate way and the appropriate way procedures need to be done and be consistent with it. I think in government, there should be some consistency. So thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else have any questions or comments, I should say, in public forum? No one else in the room? Anybody else online? Okay, and in that event, I would entertain no further business before us today. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
There we go. All right. As Matt likes to say, a non-debatable motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Adjourned. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
being
Lou.
here, Deb.
Thanks, Lou. Good job.
Oh.